Hi guys and girls, this is October Ninja Law 2017 there. Now let me tell you about CiblesYT is lying nonsense and why they're saying about Kaizo arc because the Kaizo arc supposed to be confirmed by SMG4 Kevin with Revolution not because that sounds quite impatient or maybe it just made up like that way. I don't know if SMG4 fans going to believe CiblesYT's own YouTube videos like Kaizo Arc Theory, but I don't know if everyone going to believe that videos. Well, let's get on all that. Now, I've got nothing else really to say about this video as said by CiblesYT like that because now why did CiblesYT about that? Well, I need to talk about is a. If guys who ever watched Do Not Enter videos back in 28 May 2022, that did not count as beginning of the new story arc. And if see what CiblesYT did back then.
So today we finally got some.
Well, I don't know if they're meant to be story arc or not, but that will never confirmed like that way because now, and even make matter worse, he's ignored description from Revolution arc. You have to pay a fair attention to Revolution arc playlist by SMG4 Kevin, and his album is very important, you know. SMG4 get already reaching 6 million subscribers, but let's talk about that. Now, you know why I clicked that because I have to actually just in case I forgot where I was supposed to go. Now, if we pay attention to description by SMG4 Kevin, I did when I reacted to very last part of Revolution arc. That was a movie. And CiblesYT, he ignored description. You have to pay that is extremely important. You have to pay attention to description on this Revolution arc playlist. It said the final arc to end the SMG4 commercial law. It means Revolution arc was very last ever SMG4 story arc, and CiblesYT ignored the description. Also with the 48 SMG4 fans. But let's see what he had to say about that because that did not count as an other story arc because there's no more story arc for rest of SMG4 franchise after Revolution arc. I mean, what the hell is wrong with these fans? Now let's see. What he had to say about that.
So today we finally got. Some answers as to what is behind Psycho's door and some new information regarding Kaizo. And it's safe to assume that, well, we're in an arc. So today I wanted to bring some predictions and some stuff to the table that I think could potentially happen. Make sure to like and subscribe. Enjoy the video. Alright, first off, Kaizo himself is obviously going to get taken out of Psycho's game somehow. There is obviously going to be a Gmod model made after him, so it's either going to be that, or everyone is going to get teleported inside of Psycho's game instead, and that's where we'll see his Gmod model. I personally think it would be cooler for the latter to happen, as this also grants the ability to finally provide some development for SMG4 Tari, as she literally has the power to go inside of games. But the former of Kaizo coming outside of the game is probably more likely. In this episode, we got some callbacks to the rapper Bob arc, most namely through Bob rapping. Now, personally, I think this arc is going to be heavily focused on rapping as well, not only as just a callback to the rapper Bob arc, but just to give the rapper Bob arc more weight than it does now. The arc by today's standards affects next to nothing, but if this arc were to build on top of the rapper Bob arc, it would make the rapper Bob arc just infinitely better than it originally was. There seems to be focus on Bob teaching Melanie to rap, and personally, I would love to see this duo in future arc episodes. Now, here's a concern of mine about this arc. What is the length going to be? Is it going to be more episodic based? And will it get super dark? My main concern about the arc, though, is that since the arc is starting roughly around the same time the YouTube arc started after the Meggy movie, it's going to end in War of the Fat Italians. Please, I beg of you, Glitch, don't end it in Wadfi. Just don't. I'm hoping it doesn't end in Wadfi, but if it must end in Wadfi, please make the arc more lighthearted so it feels more in place. Whether or not this arc is going to follow the formula of the YouTube arc or the formula of the anime arc, I'm not entirely sure. But since we're starting something new, and since Glitch loves to repeat past formulas, I'm predicting this arc would be more like the YouTube arc in terms of episode count and how the arc is presented. Although I would love it if Glitch broke away from previous formulas and did something new, I'm predicting this arc would function like the YouTube arc, where it's more of a setup arc for a darker arc to come. But thank you all for watching, and check out my SMG4 avatar theory.
Well, I don't even know. I mean, the main problem is there's not a lot of these comments below it, because why there was 48 fans who wanted to see Kaizo arc, and I really don't even know about there gonna be any more story arc. And Mad 8 Warrior, I don't even get that, because there are some SMG4 fans who don't believe CiblesYT as well about this Kaizo arc theory, because if you think it's gonna be an arc length of Kaizo arc, that would be really impossible, because if Galactus who remember Onyx Kane, Solo's arc, Onyx Kane who I believe are having trouble making Solo's arc, or maybe he have to take his time. Well, I think it's possible both like that. Computer arc is not a struggle for Onyx Kane to make. Yeah. Some 48 SMG4 fans wanted to see Kaizo arc. They do not end up look like Kaizo arc. Well, that did not count that. I don't find that count that, because I really don't believe you CiblesYT, because I think for Kevin they did not confirm Kaizo arc, because if you wanted to see Gary's model of Kaizo, according for Kevin, the Gary's model of Kaizo especially for next year for Kaizo movie by SMG4. Yeah, because we are not in the arc like that, because we still in regular feeders for the rest of the franchise. Look, just have some sense in your goddamn head. And they want to have Kaizo arc the same as YouTube arc for the last 2 years. And they wanted to see end with War all of our talents, but those are beliefs are not that possible, because it's really, really impossible. I would hate to say this, but Kaizo arc will not be confirmed by SMG4 Kevin, because I read the description Revolution arc. Revolution arc was our very last ever SMG4 story arc, and that was pretty much it. And then they're back on regular features for the rest of the franchise. But having Kaizo arc, that would be 2000% impossible. They want to see Kaizo and gives more model, but I'm really sorry to say this, but as for Kevin and coaching these two, especially leave it for next year. And it's going to be a Kaizo movie instead of story arc, because there's no more story arc anymore, you know. Just get used of the sense. Just have some sense in the head. There are some reasons for fans who don't believe CiblesYT as well, like Lucy, the Roscoe 15, Ghost of Time 1, that was first debuted on Causes Feeders 5 years ago, back in August 2017, called Mess Adventures Episode 2, Alex Spider, Onyx Kane, and so on. They don't believe CiblesYT. If SMG4 Kevin will see that feeders, they're going to be ending up and know that. Look, if kids count on stress as for you where you're desperate for Kaizo arc, Media Excalibur's already been hired yet by for Kevin. He will gonna Essence for Kevin will end up telling Media Excalibur and Media Excalibur we're gonna tell you to stop doing that because I don't see Endo was a story arc because that did not count that. I don't know if Kaizo movie is gonna be focused on the rapping or not, or maybe it's rather wait to see first because I really cannot not know about SMG4 movie in the future like that. Even more important of all, SMG4 got some other F-Marrows and features like Ninja Law and Splatoon 3 was coming on the way. But Splatoon 3 is going to be focused on just a wasteland because there's no more Splatfest features anymore. You already may guessed it, and people who ever watched Mega's Destiny or F-Marrows in Splatoon 1 and 2, an anime arc and Mega's Destiny. Mega was when the Splatfest at the end of the movie, if you guys have ever seen it yet or not. If you don't, then especially go watch. I really recommend it just go watch F-Marrows in Splatoon 1 and 2, anime arc and Mega's Destiny films. Because there's no more Splatfest feeders anymore because this is SMG4 and this is different than Splatoon itself because Splatoon always had a Splatfest in a franchise now. SMG4 is quite different. So there won't be any more Splatfest for the rest of the franchise. Having War of Five Talents very early, that's just playing impatience. This is most important of all. You have to be very, very patient. Do not end up as still regular feeders. It did not count as beginning of the new story arc. As for Kaizo, we're going to see him again in the movie next year. We're just going to be focused on Cycle because if we had a story arc, that would be really, really impossible. That will end up going to be a really bad mess. Luke Seb was right. If look back at Revolution arc, fair last ever was SMG4 story arc. And that's it because there's no more story arc for this on the franchise. Just read the description for Revolution arcs. And you have to be very, very understand about that. If you don't, then you know what something bad happened. Media Excalibur, we're going to be ending up telling you to stop doing that. SMG4 Kevin did not make Kaizo arc. And they also did not confirm either because Revolution arc was also, look, the final arc to end the SMG4 Cross Military Law. If you want to see Kaizo arc, forget it. And tough luck. Because SMG4 Kevin will not make a Kaizo arc to suit you. If we had to end with War of the Five Talents, if the Revolution arc was not fair last ever story arc, then that would be really impossible to fit War of the Five Talents end because that story arc, if we had Kaizo arc, then the story arc gonna be really, really badly a mess. So I'm sorry to say this, but you have to read the description of Revolution arc. I really recommend you to read it. This description from Revolution arc playlist by SMG4 Kevin, it cannot ignore that. Nobody else believe about Kaizo arc or not because do not enter as do not count that beginning of the Kaizo arc because I don't see it and we all don't see it. It looked like the beginning of the story arc, but that was just a regular feeders, unfortunately. In contest for Kevin, The War of the Fat Talents, we're going back to October again, as a regular videos, as usual on this October 2022. And then also going back to Marvel vs. SMG4 again, and War of the Fat Talent 2022, also regular videos in October again. So if you get really impatient, you would end up getting blocked by SMG4 and Kevin. That we're not gonna let you to post any comments like that. If you get really stressed, if you're gonna stress them out like that, because you will end up stressing them out. They will gonna end up telling me the Excalibur about you and being impatient. They will telling you to leave internet for fire. Or else they will end up contact with YouTube and Steam, which they would end up take your ass count off you for fire until you learn to be very patient. There's no more story arc for the rest of the SMG4 franchise after Revolution arc, you know. Just have some sense in your head, or else you will get blocked by SMG4 and Kevin. If you can't stress them out too much. It doesn't matter. I never forgot to mention it. It doesn't matter Revolution arc ends with movie or not, but that still doesn't say about that. Revolution arc was also lasted 6 videos. It's because it takes place in a college, and there's nothing else can do about that, because we had Mario goes to college, beginning of Revolution arc, Mario server having a detention, Mario's boss trip, Mario and the God Box, Apple's betrayal, and of course Revolution movie. And that's really pretty much it, because nothing else can do. It just takes place in the college, and that's it. There's nothing else can do about that. Sorry about that. But Kaizo arc was not be confirmed by for a Kevin thing, unfortunately, because Revolution arc was just a very last ever story arc. I really recommend it. Just read the description from Revolution arc playlist. If it were you, then just made a Kaizo movie theory for next year instead, because we're going to see Kaizo again in next year in 2023, which is going to be a SMG4 movie instead, to see Kaizo Gizmo Motor was finally seen. And I know you're not going to be happy about me, and don't hate me about that, because I want to see a story arc. I really recommend this to go watch on Ken Feeders, where is it going to be a Doki Doki Literature Club of arc after, well, Doki Doki Literature Club by Onyx Kane. Do not enter what is still a regular Feeders as usual for the rest of the franchise, because we're going to see Kaizo again in next year in SMG4 movie, because it's going to be focused on Psycho, and that's pretty much it. So I really recommend to just be very well patient for next year to see Kaizo and Girls Mode Model. If you don't, you will never ever get Kaizo Girls Mode Model if me the Excalibur will contact with YouTube and Steam if they were going to take an ass count off you. It is a punishment, you know. So I really recommend it, just be patient until we see Kaizo Girls Mode Mortal in next year. Peace. Okay, so please don't hate me, and patience. The War of the Fatalities was back as a regular features again, and you know, in this year. I'm gonna be so happy to see War of the Fat Italians back being regular feeders again, back being Marvel vs. SMG4 again. Even most important at all, back in October again this year. I really don't care what CiblesYT said that, because if this is keep carrying on like that way, he will gonna get blocked, or he will gonna end up stressed SMG4 Kevin out too much if this is keep carrying on like that. That's why I asked Cat would ended up get taken off it. That will be really a punishment like that way. So yeah. I'm sorry about that, Cibles TV, but CiblesYT, sorry about that. But I'm sorry, but many SMG4 fans will not believe in you except for the 8 fans. That's why I really hate SMG4 fans so much as well, because they can be really impatient at some time. Sometimes they get blocked by SMG4 Kevins, or Media Excalibur were telling you off. You know, Media Excalibur, he's very serious like YouTubers, you know. So keep that in mind, you know. So, the War of the Five Talents going back to October against us regular videos, as well Malphite SMG4 again this year was confirmed by SMG4 Kevin. Since 2017 through 28, but I would say since 2017, because 2017 of SMG4 is my favorite year of SMG4, so I'm so glad to see War of the Five Talents back being regular feeders as usual. As well, Malphite SMG4 again was confirmed on 2022 on October. Yeah, War of the Five Talents back being regular feeders again. As well, Malphite SMG4 on October again this year. So I really recommend this, just be very well patient. Otherwise, you get blocked. Trust me. And Kaizo is never confirmed by SMG4 Kevin, because. So yeah, trust me. It's going to be a Kaizo movie next year, because we're going to see Kaizo again on SMG4 movie next year, to see Kaizo Valley and Girls Mode model in next year. So it's better. So it's going to be. So you have to be very, very well patient like that, because you will going to get enough punishment if you get really impatient. So please be patient as usual. Kaizo arc never confirmed by SMG4 Kevin, unfortunately, because there's no more story arc for the rest of the franchise, unfortunately. It's back to regular feeders as usual. Okay. And War of the Five Talents was also back to regular feeders as well, Malphite SMG4 on this October 2022 as usual, like they used to be. So be patient as well, you know. Please leave comments below. Please subscribe and follow me in my channels. Link in the description below. Follow me in my TikTok, my Twitch, my Discord, and my Patreon channels. Click that bell for notification, and peace, Octolen Ninja Law 2017. I hope you enjoy it. Peace, Octolen Ninja Law 2017.